mention before we get into today's video that the information that I will provide might be confusing, but let's just say I was very excited and shocked. So enjoy the video.
Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video we're going to be just talking about the new Apple event that had just happened yesterday. I'm currently filming this the day after it was all filmed due to the fact that I was at work yesterday, so I was unable to see it. So I tried to keep all the spoilers and everything off my phone. So I decided last night that I would watch the whole Apple event and thought I would try and compress it down into this video, talking about everything that was mentioned in there and also some of the things that I was so happy about that they did and some of the things that kind of was shocking a little. But yeah, if you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button and that like button and comment down below what thing you liked from the Apple event, if you've watched it and whether or not you are going to watch it. But yeah, let's get into today's video. So Apple, when they first opened the live event, they presented us with a kind of clip thing, and after that they spoke about how they were going to implement Apple Arcade, which had been promoted at WWDC. If you guys didn't watch it, I did not make a video on it either, so maybe you might not have, maybe you have. But they were speaking about how you pay a subscription fee of $4.99 and how their different services are all coming together to fit on one device. So the Apple Arcade, if you don't know what that is, it's basically where you can play console level gaming on your MacBook, iPhone, iPad, pretty much anything that Apple sells, except for the watch obviously. But it's pretty amazing how they've brought this all together. So the subscription fee is $4.99, so it's not that expensive to just be able to download any game and play offline or online. I definitely think that I will be giving it a try and doing my month's review, as they do provide a 1 month free trial. They next moved on to the Apple TV Plus, which was also another subscription that they do, which is, if you think about it, quite a lot of subscriptions that they want you to subscribe to, because you've got Apple Music, you've got Apple TV Plus, you've got the Apple Arcade, and quite a lot more to be coming possibly in the future. So it's your whole bill is just going to be Apple, 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 Apple. Anyway, it was an amazing part of the event where they told us that anyone that buys a new iPhone or iPad this year will be able to have 1 year's free access to Apple TV Plus, and I can't remember if that is also for the arcade, but that is pretty amazing, and I'm shocked because they never normally give a free service, not even for a long period of time. They were in the run of doing this through where they provided 3 months Apple Free Music, but I never thought that this day would come where they would give the 1 year to new people that buy the device. But I also think that the reason why they've done that is because, like I will mention further on into the video, they haven't changed that much with the phone, but they have. It's a kind of a different thing, weird thing to explain. Okay, so after a really quick refresh on the services that they were going to provide from now on, they went straight into the iPad. This was just a regular refresh of the iPads from the 6th generation to the 7th generation, where they've now changed the screen size from a 9.7 inch screen to a 10.2 inch screen, also adding their smart connector, which is kind of amazing because now it's more accessible for students to use if they just want a quick, cheap iPad that is super fast and reliable. And you can even connect an SD card into it as well with using adapters. I was like, what? Amazed at it. I still think that they should all remove the touch IDs and home buttons on them, because with the way iOS 12 and 13 are heading with multitasking without any home button, it's kind of pointless having the button there. But then I do kind of see it is a good thing, because maybe the facial recognition in the phones and the new iPad Pro, it might cost a lot more. So it is pretty amazing that they are still doing a cheap, friendly budget iPad for students, and also just anyone in general that wants just a cheap iPad. Right, they next moved on to the Apple Watch, and I was actually kind of shocked that they moved on to the Series 5 already, because the Series 4 was amazing already, and the Series 3 was just good, because that's the one I've got at the moment. And to be honest, I was just oh, okay, so they decided to change and make a whole new model. So apparently there are now new displays which are always on, which is understandable why they would call it the new Series 5. There's a built-in compass, and there are many safety features like SOS, where you are able to call internationally, regardless of where you are in the world, emergency services. and I thought that was pretty amazing. And like, considering that a watch that you might not have service in that country, they will still call emergency services. I think that is one step ahead of like all the other smartwatches that are out there. Do not count me on that, but I think it's pretty amazing that they have brought that feature out. They also mentioned that there was a different kinds of ranges of finishes that you can get, and I definitely do think that it is amazing that you can buy any Apple Watch with any band now, because when I've purchased my Apple Watch, you can like decide on what colour band you wanted or anything like that. So having the opportunity to decide on what coloured band is so amazing. It's like, it's giving us more freedom in what we want to buy instead of being restricted into just one band. So the GPS model starts at £399 and the cellular model also starts at £499, and they are still keeping my Apple Watch Series 3, which is amazing, at £199. So that is pretty cool as well, considering my watch is like, I've had this watch for like 2 years now and they are still selling it, so then it is a good smartwatch. Okay, so from there they all moved on to the iPhone 11. This is to replace the iPhone XR. They basically, what they did was, it looks very similar, but whereas they've just added a extra camera on the back. Because when I had seen the design, when I first like seen the rumors and stuff, I was like, oh my god, this is gonna look ugly. But looking at it, it looks amazing. I definitely still think that they should have just stayed with the iPhone XS and 10 camera layout for the 2 dual cameras on that device, because I definitely think it looks better. But it is understandable why they would change it to differentiate, so people do not get confused with the models. But I definitely do think that was a good design. They spoke about how there are 6 new colours. I definitely do like the purple. That purple iPhone looks really nice, because it's not like a purple, it's like a lilac colour, and it's like super nice. But yeah, they spoke about how there is a 6.1 inch Retina liquid display, which is an LCD display, not like the LED displays used on iPhone 11 Pro Max. What I noticed throughout the whole like keynote was that they mainly focused on the camera, where they were trying to like sell the camera, because that was kind of like the main feature of like the upgrades for this year was the camera, where they have now added 2 cameras for the iPhone 11 and also 3 cameras for the iPhone 11 Pro and iPhone 11 Pro Max. So they've added a dual camera with a wide angle lens of 12 megapixels with an ultra wide camera at 12 megapixels at 120 degrees, which was, I thought was pretty amazing, where you can now, instead of zooming in like 2 times, you can now zoom out, and that's amazing, knowing that your phone can like zoom in and zoom out so far. It is pretty much what they're doing is just catching up with Samsung and other people, but I definitely do think that they are in the right step ahead. They also spoke about how now the iPhone 11 can now take portrait mode with pets, whereas previously it was only working with human detection, whereas now we do not need that. So I definitely do think that's why they're selling the iPhone XS and continue to sell the XR instead, is because the iPhone 11 and the XS are very similar, so they didn't want to make people just buy a cheaper device. They talked about night mode. I actually really wished that they brought that out last year in the model that I purchased, but according to Apple, they've told us that it's going to automatically like just focus and provide us with such good photos. Like, oh my gosh, I'm just so shocked right now that they've actually brought the feature out. I definitely think the features that they have brought out are features that should have been out a long time ago, but now that they're bringing them and they've perfected them, it's even more like amazing. There is now cinematic video stabilization across all 3 cameras. My whole head for this event has just been all over the place because I was just so excited. I didn't want anyone to spoil the rumors, but I could see Twitter blowing up on my phone, so I had to try and delete all of those without looking at them. They spoke about how they have brought so many good new features for the video quality, best quality video on a smartphone. They've also updated the front camera to a 12 megapixel camera, where they will continue to take 7 megapixel photos, but when it comes to turning the device around to get a bigger picture, it will also zoom out to take that 12 megapixel to make sure that the device stays clear at all times. And just quickly to mention, they included that iPhone 11 battery will last longer by 1 hour. They also talked about the new Apple A13 Bionic chip and how fast that is. Then they moved on to the iPhone 11 Pro and Pro Max. So what I got with this is very similar to the 10S and 10S Max, where the size is only the difference between them both. They spoke about how the battery can last longer for 5 hours extra, and also 6 hours extra for the 10S Max. I was so shocked when they said this, because considering my battery on my phone at the moment that I'm filming off, it lasts a good day, but it depends on my usage. If I'm filming constantly, then obviously my phone will die within like hours. Whereas if I film just and like do normal things day to day with my phone, it will last kind of like the whole day. And also they gave a sneak peek of a new feature called Deep Fusion. This is where it will take a much clearer and better photo before. So 4 photos before you've even pressed the shutter, 1 long press for the photo, and then 4 extra ones after taking the photo to make sure that the picture has got super crisp on it. There's one thing that I've been waiting for so much, is to edit video on the camera app itself, like in photos. This is not something that I've wanted for such a long time, considering I film off my iPhone and I vlog off it as well, because I do not have a camera yet. And I thought that one day it would happen. I thought maybe they would bring it into like iOS update, but I feel like they were doing this all just to make sure that anyone that had the older device will go out and buy this device. And it quickly mentioned about Apple Retail and how they've got like a new store coming, and that's pretty much what happened in the event. So I've just tried to compress the video down very quickly to try and give you the main facts and like figures and my opinion alongside it. I definitely do think that the iPhone 11 Pro and Pro Max are definitely the devices that I personally would go for. The iPhone 11 is a very good replacement for those that were looking for like a cheap, friendly budget device with super fast like performance. Hopefully I'm able to have the opportunity to go to the Apple event in Cupertino, hopefully one day. I don't know, I'm just like, if I ever go, I probably would have a heart attack or like faint. But yeah, that is going to be pretty much today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to talk about what your thoughts and feelings were about the new Apple event and the new iPhones, then leave them in the comment downs below, as I would like to read them, and also I will respond back to them. But yeah, I would like to thank everyone watching today's video. It means a lot. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye. Boop.